Welcome back to our series on Carthago. In this video, we will be doing a partial round playthrough so that we can learn about each action. The 5 actions that players take throughout the game are the following: market action, residence action, trading dock action, warship dock action, and harbor delivery action. This will be a 2-player round playthrough, so there are a few restrictions. The guild hall has the 4 corners filled. Only the first 2 spaces on the achievement tiles may be filled. The red and yellow neutral markers are placed on the rondel. The game starts in the first of 3 decade, and we will play through the first 3 turns. Player Black and Player Blue will escort us through this journey. In the setup, Player Black placed his first influence token within the warship dock. He took this from the middle column of his residence board, which upgrades his attack to 3. Player Blue placed his first influence token in the trading dock near a ship that requires glass. He took this from his first column in his residence, which will help him to gain guild seats in the future. Player Black will go first. Since his first influence token is in the warship dock, he will want to do battle in the future, so he wants to upgrade his attack. In addition to his action cards, Player Black has 3 trade cards he started the game with, 1 jewelry and 2 timber. These 2 timber will be useful in raising his attack. Player Black will perform the residence action, placing his action marker on the residence action on the rondel. In order to use this action, he must spend 1 card with the residence action to the left of his residence board. He uses one of his base cards for this action, as he does not want to use one of his trade cards. The residence action allows the player to remove the top influence token from one of the columns on the residence board. The first column requires the payment of 3 cards, 3 dice, 3 oils, or 3 glass. As these influence tokens are removed, players will gain additional guild seats for final scoring. The middle column requires the player to spend 2 timber trade cards, but gives additional attack power. The final column costs 2 jewelry trade cards. When you take the second row in this column, you obtain 2 influence tokens, which can be used on achievement tiles and guild seats. Player Black will take the final influence token from the middle column. He will then pay for it using the 2 timber trade cards in his hand. These are placed in the discard pile. Since he has cleared one of the columns, he will gain 1 extra guild seat for scoring at the end of the game. A guild marker is on the action space that he played. The player may take a guild action at the end of the turn. The player can spend trade cards worth the value of his seat in either the guild hall or one of the achievement tiles on the current decade. This first achievement tile's bonus is the following. For each influence disc you remove from your residence board, you score 3 victory points. The player must take the first spot on the achievement tile, and it costs 2 coins. Player Black will spend his final trade card, which is worth 4, so he will overpay a tad. This was a good turn for Player Black. He raised his attack to 5, and he will now earn victory points for free spaces on his residence board. Since he took a guild action, the guild marker moves clockwise. It is now Player Blue's turn, and his first influence token is at the trading dock next to his ship. In order to obtain this ship, he would need to deliver glass through the harbor delivery action, since the icon on the ship shows glass. Luckily, Player Blue has 2 glass trade cards and 1 jewelry trade card. 1 glass card is value 5, and the other is value 2. He will want to keep the higher value card. Player Blue will need to place his action marker on the harbor delivery action space and play a card of the same action. He can use either a trade card or a base card, but wants to keep the trade card with the same action. In general, whenever possible, you want to keep trade cards in your hand in order to buy guild seats, gain achievements, and trade for ships. Player Blue plays the base card with the harbor delivery action to the left side of his residence board. He will take the low value glass trade card and spend it to the discard pile. Since Player Blue delivered the correct good to the trading harbor, he takes the ship and places it below his residence board. Since victory points will be tallied by how many ships a player has multiplied by guild seats, the more ships the player has, the better. When delivering to the harbor, the player also gains trade cards to his hand, up to or slightly over this coin value in the right hand corner of the ship card taken. In this case, Player Blue was able to take 2 cards since the first was only value 3. The second card drawn was value 4, which exceeded the coin value of 5 on the ship. These are then added to the player's hand. The remaining influence token is taken and placed into the player's inventory. All ships in the harbor move forward, the ship just outside the harbor moors, and a new ship is drawn from the draw deck. At the top of each ship card is an action that the ship can be flipped over in order to perform. This action does the following. When placing an influence token on an achievement tile, you are allowed to choose an achievement tile that was active in a previous decade. This won't have any effect until the next decade. This player may take the guild action since the guild marker is on the same action space. Player blue has quite a few cards, so he will buy a seat in the guild worth 8. He discards a value 5 jewelry and a value 3 glass trade card to pay for it. Since the guild marker is in the next action space clockwise, the used guild marker does not move. It is now round 2 and player black begins. He still has his influence token at the warship dock, but he doesn't have any trade goods to deliver to the dock. Player black will place his action marker on the market action. This will allow the player to take one trade card from the available cards in the market or trade deck and switch another trade card in their hand. Player black has his eyes on this value 6 wood trade card, so he will take it and place it in his current hand. Another card replaces the missing one from the market. The player may now trade one card from their hand in the market, but has no need to do so. During this action, a player may also flip a ship back over to its active side, but player black has no ships at this time. The black marker is not accompanied by any other marker, so nothing rotates and no guild actions are able to be taken. It is player blue's turn once again. Last round, they used their influence token at the trading dock to gain a ship. This turn, they will place another influence token at a dock so that they can gain more ships in the future. Player blue places their action token on the trading dock action and plays a base action card with the same action on it. The trading dock action allows a player to place one influence disc in the trading harbor. Since a neutral player's action token is also on the action space, the player must play another card to the right of his residence board. Player blue will play another base card, this one with the market action on it. The actions for any additional cards do not matter, and can be either from the trade cards or base cards. Player blue will take an influence token and place it on the trading dock next to the ship that requires timber to be delivered to it. In the future, this player will be able to deliver to the dock again in order to gain another ship. The neutral marker moves clockwise one space at the end of the turn. It is now round 3 of the first decade, and player black will take his turn first. He will perform the harbor delivery action, which has a guild marker on it. Player black plays a base card with the harbor delivery action on it to the left side of his board. This action allows the player to deliver to both the trading dock and the warship dock if that player so chooses. Player black only has an influence token at the warship dock, so will deliver to the dock only. The influence token comes off and is placed into the player's inventory. The player will deliver the timber trade card he gained last turn to the dock. When delivering to the warship dock, any trade card may be played, unlike at the trading dock. The top card of the ship pile is revealed, and the danger score of that ship is compared to the player's strength score, which is 5. The ship that was drawn has a total danger value of 2, so player black is successful. Since this expedition was successful, the player will draw trade cards until the coin value in the corner is met or exceeded. Player black drew one card, which was value 6. He only gets to draw that one card since the coin value has been met. Since the expedition was successful, the ship is placed below the residence board, flipped to its inactive side. If the player had drawn a card of higher danger value, then the expedition would have been a failure, and they would draw a single card from the trade deck, returning the ship to the bottom of the ship pile. Regardless of whether the expedition was a success, the player may take the influence token that was on the dock and place it on an achievement tile, paying for it with a trade card. Player black pays for this achievement space with his trade card of value 6, even though the achievement only costs 2. This specific achievement reads, "For each disc you have in the guild forum, you score 4 victory points." The guild forum is a place where players may place influence tokens for 12 coins. These count as seats at the end of the game, and players may place as many as they wish. Player black will not take a guild action this turn, so the guild marker does not move. Player blue's turn once again, and he has a single influence token in the trading dock, but no influence tokens within the warship dock. The player will take the warship dock action, but he will have to pay an additional trade card as the red neutral marker is on that action space. Player blue will play 2 base cards, leaving as trade cards. The first has the warship dock action, and will be placed to the left of the residence board. The second has the residence action, which doesn't matter, but will be placed to the right of the residence board. Player blue will take one of his influence markers and place it into the warship dock using this action. When placing influence tokens on the docks, players may not occupy all the spaces of any one dock. It is now the end of the 3rd round, and also the end of our partial round playthrough. We have gone through all 5 actions in the game in full detail. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Make sure to check out my links in the description to see how you can contribute to the making of these videos.